Morally, ethically, and legally the right thing to do. That's how Attorney General Doug Gansler describes his argument that the death sentence for convicted murderer Jody Lee Miles can no longer stand.
Well, Gansler says the Court of Appeals should instead sentence Miles to life without the possibility of parole. ABC 2 News' Katrina Bush joins us right now with the reason.
Yeah, Jamie and Kelly, Gansler filed the brief with the court today, and in it he cites that Maryland doesn't have regulations and procedures to carry out an execution anymore. And that's the case even for a crime that was committed and sentenced before the state repealed capital punishment last year. So without those protocols, he says an execution in Maryland is impossible. He was sentenced to death more than 15 years ago, but the outlook for convicted murderer Jody Lee Miles could soon change.
We're doing what we're doing today because it's the right thing to do, it's the moral thing to do, it's the ethical thing to do, and it's the legal thing to do, given the state of the law in Maryland today.
Attorney General Doug Gansler reached an agreement with the Miles defense team and will argue in the Court of Special Appeals that instead of death, Miles should get life without parole, now the highest penalty in the state. The death penalty was repealed in Maryland in 2013, but even before that, in 2006, Gansler says the Court of Appeals struck down the lethal injection checklist, which means
there are no protocols in place to carry out a lethal injection for execution in the state of Maryland.
Miles has been on death row since 1998. He was convicted in 1997 of killing 31-year-old Edward Joseph Atkinson, a musical theater director in Wicomico County. Atkinson's mother says these years have been like a roller coaster for her.
It's been appeal after appeal, and we get some hope each time, and then all of a sudden, all these appeals have been in our favor, and then all of a sudden we get this news that we've been let down. Terrific. It's just an impact that people shouldn't have to go through. I just feel like it's a political scheme.
She says she wishes Gansler would put himself in her shoes. Gansler says he is sympathetic with the family, but that he is bound by the law.
Under the due process clause of the Constitution of the United States and Maryland, that we cannot hold somebody on death row that cannot be executed.
Gansler says Miles and his defense team will argue for a life sentence, which does have the possibility of parole, during an appeal on December 8th. Gansler says he doesn't believe they can win that argument. Katrina Bush, ABC 2 News.